And hello again, this is the Shooting Mechanic, and I am going to tell a story for you guys today. I'm going to tell you about how I wasn't always a conservative. I actually, in fact, used to be a very far-leaning Democrat. And I don't know how long this video is going to be because there wasn't a lot to change it. It just happened over a long amount of time. So, when I was growing up, I was always growing up Democrat. And I'm not saying I was raised by Democrat parents. My dad is actually on the right wing, such as myself. And I think my mom is too. Her husband definitely is. But I don't know about my mom. It doesn't matter. I wasn't raised by both parents at the same time anyway when I was growing up. But the company I kept, when I started in middle school, back when, I first started hearing about the LGB movement. I think it was back when it was still the LGB movement before they added the T. And, then the Q and then the plus and all that stuff got added on later. But I believe it was just called the LGBT community. Or was it always LGBT? I can't remember, honestly. Maybe the T got added on later, maybe it didn't. I can't remember. That's a long time for me to think back. Anyway, the company of friends I kept held these beliefs purely because I could tell held these beliefs purely because their parents held these beliefs. When you're a child, that's okay. You're impressionable. It's nothing against them. It's nothing against their parents. They probably just, hear it secondhand while their parents are watching the news or reading the newspaper, or something like that. They probably just soak up some of the stuff secondhand when it wasn't actually intended for them to see it. I'm not putting anybody at fault. But as I started getting into my teens, and I started hearing about this, and I started hearing more and more about gun control. See, as far left as I was, I loved guns, and I still do, and I wanted to shoot them all the time because I remember my grandfather always taking me out to shoot the pistol. He has this old little Ruger 22 LR. God, it's older than my dad. It's kind of an older pistol. And we would, shoot the rifle, see how good of a shot I was. I'm actually pretty sharp, by the way, and I keep up on it. And we'd always shoot the shotguns. I remember the first shotgun I ever fired. It was a break barrel 410 made in the early 1900s. I can't remember when it was made, but all of my grandfather's guns have a lot of age on them. My grandfather is turning 70 here in a couple months, and some of those weapons that he has belong to his grandfather. It's crazy. And he gave one of those weapons to me. It is a Mark 1 number 3, or no, number 1 Mark 3 Lee Enfield. Removable magazine, 10 rounds, fires through a 3 Brit, bolt action, wood stock, awesome gun. I've used it for hunting deer. It's great and it's effective. I love it. That belonged to his grandfather, and it's stamped U.S. property on it and everything. Sorry, I've had a cold. Anyway, but as a kid, I loved shooting these guns, and I'm sorry for going on that tangent, by the way. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. I'm not exactly an editing wizard, so I don't know how to take it out.
I like waking up. Come on, Peaches.
Okay, and we're back. I just went to my shed so that we wouldn't have any more interruptions. What was I saying? Okay, so when I was a kid, I held certain values. Like, I liked my guns. I liked being able to say what I wanted to say. But a lot of the company I kept did not feel that way. A lot of them are saying, no guns, no this, can't say mean things to other people. In the back of my head, I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of stupid, but I'm sure there's a good reason they think this way. So I kind of just went along with it. I was desperate as a kid to try to be part of the cool crowd, and I didn't want to jeopardize that by actually speaking out, which now I think about it was actually not just speaking out, but it was speaking up for myself and standing up for myself and people like me. But I went along with it. Same thing all throughout high school. It was like, oh, Obama's my wet dream, and oh, Joe Biden's so cool. He's the sweetest old man. They're best friends. Give me a fucking break. But anyway, I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah. I went with it. And I did some reading into Obamacare, and I'm thinking, this doesn't look very good. But in my head, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just one thing that he did wrong. And then, as I started growing up, I heard about this and that and this and that and this and that. And then I'm like, oh, well, it's supposed to outweigh the Obamacare a little bit, which I'm not trying to rag on Obama. When I say he did something wrong, that means I did something that I didn't hold in my values. It could be right for somebody else, just not for me. And then, around after I graduated high school, and I was around a group of friends, and oh boy, this was a hectic, intense time. Let me tell you. So it was around late 2015 all the way down to the election, between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And boy, all my friends were always ragging on conservatives and, telling what they would do if they got their hands on somebody who supported Trump, if they got their hands on somebody that was right wing, somebody that was this or that. It was some of the most hateful things I've ever heard in my life, and these were people I knew and that I was up until that point always comfortable to be around. And it was at that point that I'm like, wow, these people are really hateful towards other people because I like all people. I'm not inherently hateful to anybody. The only reason I would be hateful to somebody is if they fucked me over or did something stupid that would affect me critically for a long time. And it's like, I've been cheated on and I still don't hate that woman. I've been cheated on by a couple people, honestly. Maybe it's something I'm doing, I don't know. But I don't hate those women. Because, you know what I do? I just throw them out of my life and I don't think of them again. And then I think about them for a while. But nothing 30 rack of Budweiser doesn't fix. I'm not kidding, by the way. I do need to slow down on my drinking. Anyway. Sorry I lost my train of thought there for a second. So anyway, it was during the upcoming election. And in my heart and in my mind, I knew that I was a Republican. I knew that I was conservative. Because I wasn't going to ride this Democrat bandwagon anymore. I was sick of going everything that they were saying. So, like, in my mind, they used to be reasonable. They used to, want good things and want equality for people and, and everything like that. But then they started being hateful to other people that didn't think like they did. They started assaulting people who didn't think like they did. And they started, like, just anything that they could do to hurt them or try to ruin their life, they were doing to these people because they don't share the same ideas that they share. And that broke me a little bit. It made me feel really bad that they're actually getting away with this. So, that's why I switched sides. I switched to the other side. It wasn't even like a full switch. I was still kind of already there. I was still kind of already on the edge. All I needed was a little push. Then, then my friends saying that Donald Trump was going to start, a new Holocaust, but with Mexicans. That's what pushed it. That's that little nudge that pushed me over that edge to finally be like, you know what? Screw this. Alright. I'm trying not to swear in these videos as much as I can. I'm like, screw this. I'm done. I am done with the Democrat Party. I am done with the party of jackasses. I'm done. But I still kept the fact that I was conservative a secret from my friends, because and one of those people has been to prison for second degree. He was obviously a little bit older than I was. For second degree homicide, and I knew he would probably take good on his promise. Gosh, dude was pretty old. But I can't remember. I haven't thought about him in so long. Anyway, one second. Sorry, I'm back. I just can't think about those guys. Anyway, but so I kept it a secret. I suppressed it. I kept it a secret. I wanted to keep my friends, and I didn't want something bad to happen as a result of me being like, oh, did I ever tell you guys that I'm this or that? If I did, I would have lost my home. Because, even though, nobody that lived where we lived actually had a lease on the place, it probably would have been unanimously voted to kick me out. So, in my best interest, I kept it a secret. So, and then the election came. It was election day. I was in a bar, and a sports bar, really. It was a sports bar for like sushi, and they served like sake and soda and whatever else you might have wanted. And we were watching it on the TV, and here I'm watching. They're watching it on, I want to say, MSNBC. I think they also switched the channel to Young Turks, because the area I was living in was like heavy liberal Democratic. And one of those guys is a flat earther. Smart guy. Other than that, other than the fact that he was a flat earther, he was one of the most intelligent guys I've ever met, except for the fact that he was a flat earther. When I found out he was a flat earther, I immediately thought of him as an idiot. But anyway, we're watching the election, and it's like getting close, and everyone's like standing up, and they're all watching the TV. And then Trump wins, and you just hear everyone go, "Oh, what the hell? Why? What is wrong with this country?" And I was literally the one guy going, "Woo!" And then everyone just stops and looks at me, and I'm like, I will show myself out. And then I did. But like one of the things that really, pushed me from the left really, really close to the right all at once was this transgender movement. And even my Democrat liberal friends didn't even agree with it. They're like, okay, we've all kind of ridden this LGBTQ train a little. We've all ridden this, love everybody, everyone can get married, whatever train long enough. Transgender, that's ball honky. Caitlyn Jenner's a man. Just because he lobbed his dick off and filled his pecs up with water and fat does not make him a woman. Wait, I just forgot. Bruce Jenner didn't even cut his dick off. He still has it. He's just a dude with tits. Anyway, my bad, going off on another tangent. When the LGBT, especially the T part of that, really started gaining steam, that's when I'm like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. And I got that much closer to the right. When that happened, in that moment, I became, like, from a liberal Democrat, that automatically moved me to, like, right-leaning centrist. And then when I heard my friends talk bad about hate on everybody, on how much they would hurt these people, blah, 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 that is actually what officially pushed me towards the right. And then, not only was I pushed towards the right, but I saw the light when I got pushed there. Man, I found out all these crazy things. Like, one of the ones, like, even the one I still hear today, like, about when, like, Donald Trump was, like, mocking the disabled reporters, like, oh, I don't know what I said. I later found out that that's not true, but to this day, people still believe it. I found out that that's a gesture he just makes, since conceivable time, that, that's just a gesture he makes when he catches somebody in a fib, or when he catches someone lying and they don't know how to back it up, and they're like, oh, I don't know what I did, I don't know what I said, or I can't remember, or this, or whatever weird gesture that is. That's just when he catches somebody in a lie and they don't know how to back it up. That's one thing. Sorry, I'm still sick. Anyway, and not just that, but like everyone was writing on this Mueller report, getting him impeached. And, oh, well, Mueller report, that was bunk, nothing happened. Sorry, guys. And yet they're still trying. They're still trying to impeach the guy. They still call him racist. Is it racist to send illegal immigrants home? No. And people say he's racist. Like, I still have yet to hear him say one racist piece of rhetoric. And I still have yet to hear someone say one thing that Trump said that was racist. They usually can't come up with anything, or if they do come up with something, check it on a fact checker website, and that's wrong. It's a myth. So I'm getting a little too pumped up here. Sorry. But, I was at my wit's end at that time. And it's like, and plus, even if Trump did say some racial things, okay, he said some racial things, Hillary killed people. I think I would rather have a guy that's like maybe a little bit racially insensitive than have a fucking murderer in office. Because honestly, which is worse? One guy who just you know, call someone a Mick. I can say that I'm Irish. But anyway, or just call somebody this or somebody that, in casual conversation, or somebody who has had people killed that threatened to blow the whistle on whatever shady shit she was up to. You know, the email stuff. You know what I mean? I know which one I would pick. I would pick the guy that would just like drop like that would just say something that would kind of make him look like an ass. Instead of a high a murderer with lots and lots of political power. You would really want to make a murderer the most powerful person in the world? No way. Scratch that. We're done. And if I wasn't a Republican yet, oh boy, I would sure be now. Cause seeing that Beto O'Rourke, being like, yeah, we're gonna take your AR-15. Yeah, we're gonna come take your AK-47. And I'm like, sure, that's a good idea, bub. Because I guarantee that not if he did that and if he got elected and did that, I guarantee that there would be bloodshed and there would be tragedy. And then at that point, I'm just trying to make predictions here. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium or anything like that. Wait, a medium talks to ghosts. Anyway, if he were to go door to door, like he would send people door to door to take people's guns, I guarantee that he would be shitting himself within the first 5 minutes of that actually starting. Like from the first knock, he would probably send teams all around the country. But like from the first knock, or like the first house they go to that they know that had registered guns, those police officers or whoever were there would not. I can already guarantee walking up to the house, they would already know what is going to happen. They would probably leave messages to their families. It's sad, but we don't have to worry about that because Beto O'Rourke's not going to get elected, and no police officer in their right mind would enact something like that. They would not enforce that law because they know that is unconstitutional, and any police officer worth his salt would disobey those orders to go door to door and take away people's guns, and they would turn theirs on the tyrannical government instead. I am not saying our government is tyrannical, but if Beto O'Rourke gets into office and he implements the taking of AR-15s and AK-47s, then that's tyrannical. That's as tyrannical as you can get. The only reason he would want to take guns is because he has some more sinister plans in mind. And he doesn't want us to fight back. But again, I digress. We don't have to worry about it. He's not getting elected. But if I was a Democrat, 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't be now. Although I haven't been for a long time. And every stupid thing I see the Democrats do, it's just pushing me a little bit further to the right every time I see it. Oh, and Greta Thunberg. Holy shit. Have you guys seen this chick? God, she looks like her parents are brother and sister. And who is she? A 16-year-old to be missing school and coming out of her education and talk to us about climate change when she came here on a fucking yacht. Ah, crap, I dropped it. Anyway, who is she to come over here on a yacht just her and her parents on a yacht. You know, something that could easily hold lots more people. Why didn't the whole crew go with them on the yacht? Carpool. It's cleaner. It's more efficient. But instead, everyone else flew, and her and her parents took a yacht. And then, you know, her and her parents are seen to, like, you know, wearing, like, oh, the Antifa shirts, and they're all wearing the Antifa shirts. You know, we all know that this girl has been indoctrinated by the bullshit her parents have filled her head with. And she doesn't even know what she's doing. And yes, she's autistic, which, you know, it can mean a lot of things. I mean, I'm on the autism spectrum. You know, and that's fine. But here's the thing. I'm a grown adult who lives in the United States. She's a 16-year-old from Sweden who doesn't know jack shit. And yeah, I'm attacking Greta Thunberg. I'm not, well, I wouldn't say attacking. I'm criticizing her. If I was attacking her, I'd be calling her a stupid bitch and a blah, 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 blah. But she is none of those things. I'm purely criticizing what Greta Thunberg has been doing, and it's not even that I'm criticizing Greta Thunberg. I'm criticizing her parents. Her parents are pieces of shit. And, God, her parents look like they're fucking related, for one. And Greta looks like her parents are related. Got her. Nothing on her parents. Alright, anyway. But that is just some of the weird things that are going on around here. And not to mention, YouTube is censoring a lot of creators. Like my man Steven Crowder. God, they're censoring the living shit out of him. Like, what the hell? First Amendment, free speech, my ass. God. And not to mention a lot of these channels that also have right-wing political opinions are getting completely demonetized or suppressed or blacklisted. It's like, God, the left is like the Illuminati. They're everywhere. It seems like they're in control of everything. They're in control, like, of, you know, the streaming services, the search engines, the big companies. If there is an Illuminati, it's the left. The left is the Illuminati. That sounded ridiculous out loud. I am sorry. But still, though, like the Illuminati, the left controls the big companies. They control what's on the internet. They control what people see on the internet. They control, like, what people buy. You know, essential oils and shit. You know, for those who believe in that kind of thing. No judgment. Okay, a little judgment. But anyway, I have talked long enough. This is almost a 30-minute video. You guys have a good day. And I need to look at the camera more, but have a good day.